guys, so in this video I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about what you can eat and trying to gain weight. So this video has been highly requested, and let me also just say I'm a little sick, so my voice is like a little weird right now. So yeah, anyway, I always get the question of what can I eat, what do you eat, what did you eat. So first of all, I just want to say if you do have problems eating like large amounts of food at one time, you can eat smaller meals throughout the day and snack and still have a successful weight gain journey. So when it does come to what you eat, if you have to find 3 big meals that you can eat plus snacks, then that's cool. But if you have to break your portions up to be able to fit all the calories in that you want to fit in, then that's fine too. So whenever you're trying to do your weight gain journey, you have to do things in the way that's fitting for you. So that's why it's very hard for a lot of people to even give advice, because everyone's journey is going to be different in a lot of ways, and no one is going to be eating the exact same things. So hopefully the tips that I share can help you to build your own kind of weight gain regimen. So yeah, let's just get into it. So first of all, let's get this out of the way. There's no secret. If you plan on eating unhealthy foods, you can definitely expect some unhealthy weight gain. That's something that we all know, regardless of whether we're trying to gain weight or not. You know, what you put into your mouth, it really is gonna matter. So I can admit, at the beginning of my weight gain journey, I ate terribly. I thought I was one of those people who could just eat what I want and not really see a stomach like that. I don't know why I thought that. It's just because I've never had a big stomach like that. You know, only when I've had kids. But other than that, I've never truly been like overweight and really had to deal with any of that. So I just thought, you know, my metabolism is fast. You know, I was just thinking it was okay. But it did start to catch up to me in my weight gain journey. So I had to really sit down and figure out what I was doing wrong. And one of the things that I was doing wrong is I wasn't paying attention to my eating habits at all. I wasn't paying attention to how my body was reacting to what I was eating, which is very important because some foods, such as dairy, for me, can cause a lot of bloating. So that's something that I didn't even realize in the beginning. I was eating cheesecake filling. I was doing cereal like every day. I was just doing all these weird things. I was drinking coffee all the time. Like, I was doing the absolute most, but there was a lot of dairy in my diet. So on top of the bloating that I was experiencing, I was just eating things that didn't even really make sense. You know, my whole thing was I wanted to gain. I didn't care if it was unhealthy weight gain. The difference between unhealthy food and healthy foods is if you choose to carry a healthy diet, your chances of putting on muscle will be a lot better, and your chances of gaining unhealthy weight will be a lot lower if you have a diet that's full of protein, you know, your vegetables, all those kind of things, good carbs, things like that. So all those things matter. If you're going to the gym, it will be a lot harder for you to put on any muscle if your diet sucks. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you'll just be in there overworking yourself, but the results will be slow to non-existent because your diet is not matching up to what you're actually doing into the gym. Because there's certain foods that you can eat that will definitely help your weight gain journey and help your fitness journey. And I really believe if you have a good amount of protein in your diet, you have to do less work in the gym versus someone who has a terrible diet, lacking protein, a lot of empty calories, sodas, things like that, all that kind of stuff. Because with me, I noticed that if I don't even go to the gym as consistently as I want to, it's still not hard for me to keep a stomach that's intact with abs, depending on what I'm choosing to eat. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. I love to eat chicken. I like salmon. I did eat a lot of beef in the beginning of my weight gain journey, but that's something that's very minimal for me now. And I don't meal prep with beef. Whenever I meal prep, I'm doing salmon and I'm doing the chicken. These are all things that I've shown, so I'll probably insert some clips around the video so you guys can kind of get a glimpse of some of the things that I like to cook. But I definitely am heavy on the salmon, I will say that. I do like redfish, I like things like that, but I'm not eating cheeseburgers every single day. I'm not doing any of that. You know what I mean? My diet is definitely something that I had to sit down and really try to focus on. So let's also talk about meal prepping. So let's talk about the benefits of meal prepping, and let's talk about what happens if you choose not to meal prep. So meal prepping can be so beneficial because it's just that. is preparation. So if you're prepared and you have a meal already prepped, it is very easy to go get it, eat it, and move on with your day. You're not going to be sitting there thinking about, what am I going to eat? What size am I going to have? What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with that? Just all these different kind of things. Whenever you meal prep, you are prepared. So you go get your meal, you warm it up, and you eat it, you move on. Then you can go work out or whatever you're going to do later on. So having meals that are already prepped eliminates the process of having to waste time thinking about what you're going to eat, because that process within itself can slow you down. One of the things that I noticed during my weight gain journey, especially in the beginning, is that I spent a lot of time thinking. You know what I mean? I spent a lot of time feeling like I don't know what I'm going to eat, so it was really easy for me to just eat all these crappy foods because there was no preparation involved. I was kind of just eating whatever was in front of me. So that was absolutely terrible. And also, the food that you choose to eat is also going to play a part in your energy level. So you do want to keep your energy level up, but if you are carrying an unhealthy diet, the chances of you being energized and even feeling like going to the gym probably are going to be a lot lower than someone with a healthy diet. Like, let's just get that out of the way. So some of the foods that are found to be providing of a good energy level would be bananas. Studies show that bananas may be one of the best foods around for keeping a good energy level. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And if you follow me on Instagram, you already know that I've talked about bananas several times in the past. I do think that that is one of my favorite snacks, especially in the morning. It's very quick, it's just easy, it's kind of sweet. You just eat it and go. So another food that people have found that boosts energy levels is fish. So a serving of salmon or even tuna will provide you with the recommended amount of omega-3 and B vitamins for the day. So salmon and tuna are definitely two fish to keep in mind and try out if you haven't tried already. So omega-3 fatty acids have been shown to reduce inflammation in the body, which is a common cause for fatigue. So that's something to keep in mind. So the things that I'm naming off could really be beneficial, not only for you to carry a healthy diet, but they can help you boost your energy levels. So listen up. Let's move on to the next one. The next one that we're going to talk about is brown rice, which is very interesting. And I'll be honest, brown rice I do not eat very often. I don't know why. I don't know. I want to start eating brown rice more, but this is something that I did learn a long time ago. So unlike white rice, brown rice is less processed and it does contain more nutrients in the form of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. So that's something to keep in mind when it comes to choosing white rice over brown rice. So 1 cup of cooked brown rice provides 3.5 grams of fiber. And it also provides about 88% of the RDI for manganese. Now when it comes to that, that is a mineral that is going to help your enzymes break down carbohydrates and proteins to generate energy. So you kind of can see how that is connected when you're talking about brown rice in comparison to white rice. Definitely is some studies there that show brown rice can in fact help you keep your energy levels up. So if you guys see me looking down, that is going to be me looking at my notes, because I did take the time to make these notes and they actually have been on my website for a very long time now. So yeah, I'm just reading off of the things that I've already gathered for you guys in the past. Sweet potatoes is next on the list. Sweet potatoes is one of the things that I've been talking about since the beginning of my weight gain journey. So when it comes to sweet potatoes, they definitely are capable of giving you that extra boost. Just one medium sweet potato is going to contain up to 23 grams of carbs, 3.5 grams of fiber, 28% of the RDI for manganese, and about 438% of the RDI for vitamin A. So since they're high in fiber and complex carbs, your body can digest them at a slower pace, providing you with a steady supply of energy. So when it comes to sweet potatoes, they're definitely also a great source of manganese, and that's going to help you break down the nutrients and produce energy, just like we were talking about with the brown rice. So sweet potatoes can be where it's at. So if you're eating a lot of white potatoes, definitely try squeezing some sweet potatoes into your diet. So next, we are going to talk about eggs. Now, I have mixed feelings when it comes to eggs. You know, sometimes I feel like they're super necessary for me, and sometimes I feel like they're not. Eating a lot during my weight gain journey, like a lot. I used to wake up in the morning and boil like 3 or 4 eggs and just eat them just every single day almost. So when it does come to eggs, they do contain a great amount of protein, which is one of the main reasons why I was always having them part of my diet. So that can definitely give you a steady source of energy alone, just the fact that it has a lot of protein in there. And eggs do not cause spikes in blood sugar and insulin when you digest them. So leucine is one of the most dominant amino acids in eggs, and it's also known to stimulate energy production in a few different ways. So leucine can also help cells take in more blood sugar, stimulate the production of energy in the cells, and increase the breakdown of fat to produce energy. So eggs are also rich in B vitamins, and that can help enzymes perform their roles when the process comes to breaking down food for energy. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Eggs, like I said, I feel like I'm going to transition to not eating as much eggs, but I don't know. We have like a love-hate relationship. You know, eggs make you like have gas. I don't know, but I have eaten a lot of eggs during my weight gain journey, so I definitely want to put that on the list, because those are one of the things that I even notice gives me energy is eggs, I have to be honest. So other energizing foods that I've noted down would include apples, dark chocolate, quinoa, oatmeal, yogurt, hummus, lentils, avocados, strawberries, oranges, beans, green tea, nuts, beets, and leafy green vegetables. So that was just some of the foods that you can keep in mind that may be beneficial for you to have a part of your weight gain journey, diet, whatever you want to call it. It does matter what you eat, because you want to be energized. You don't want to be sluggish. You don't want to have a belly. You don't want any of that. If you do want to gain weight, you want to gain it the healthy way, not just because you don't want to be fat, just because you want your body to be healthy inside and out. Another thing that you may worry about during your weight gain journey is these things being expensive. So food can definitely add up, but one thing I will say that it doesn't have to be extremely expensive for you to have a healthy diet. When you sit down and really look at how much unhealthy food you're buying, it probably wouldn't be that much of a jump to start buying foods that are a little bit healthier, if not a lot healthier than what you're already buying, especially when you think about what you're spending your money on in other areas. If this is a priority for you, it's possible for you to make it happen. So definitely don't stress about as far as like how to get the foods, how to pay for them, this and that. If you're eating, then there's a way for you to be eating better. Weight gain journey is more mental than a lot of people talk about, because it can be really hard to train yourself to eat 3 times a day and have these snacks if you weren't used to doing that before. Before I started my weight gain journey, I started at 93 pounds. But before I got down to 93 pounds due to stress and anxiety, I still wasn't used to eating 3 times a day. I used to eat like 1 time a day, and I would just be cool with that. Like, I'm cool with that. But once I started to actually trying to gain weight, I did hit a point where I wasn't as interested in eating, or I had to kind of like really program myself to start eating enough, throughout the day. And it's a lot more of a mental process than you think if you're not used to actually eating that way. I definitely was having a hard time at the beginning. The unhealthy weight gain is definitely something that gave me a reality check. I definitely need to sit down and figure out how I want to gain weight, why am I trying to gain weight, what kind of look am I going for here. Definitely that gave me a reality check. So that's pretty much it in this video. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any other questions about weight gain journey, you can leave them down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye.